Okay, so 6 feet tall. What percentage of U.S. men are 6 feet or taller? Okay, this is one of the 6'6s. You know, if women don't have any stipulations, they're going to say, yeah, absolutely. I want a guy that's 6 feet or taller, plus a boom, boom, boom. A, 9% of men. B, is it 14% of men? C, is it 19% of men? Or D, is it 24% of men? If any woman really, like, she didn't have to put any restraints down, she wasn't like 35 and realized, oh crap, I need to change my expectations. This 6'6s is what pretty much all women would be like, yeah, of course I want something like that or more. The 6'6s in a man. So let's just start with number 5. This is a big one. The 6'6s, she wants a guy with, 6-figure income, 600 horsepower car, 6-pack abs, 6 months from last relationship, 6 feet tall, and 6 inches in the pants. So let's start with literally just number 5. Just number 5, 6 feet tall. Okay, so 6 feet tall. So to start with this, to just give us a little something, a little number to kind of look at. Boom. Perfect. Let's do it. Okay, here's a quiz, guys. Here's a quiz for us. And sorry for any of you guys that aren't in the United States. It's just, it differs from where you go. So I thought that this would be an easier one, just thinking the United States. Prince quiz here. What percentage of U.S. men are 6 feet or taller? What do you guys think in the United States? What percentage of men are 6 feet or taller? And I think that they took into account you're like 20 years or older. So we're not talking about, children and all that stuff. So apparently it is B. It is 14%, or about 14.5% of United States men are 6 feet or taller, at least according to a few years ago when they did a study on that. Okay, 6 feet tall. Let's do some math. This is for the ladies out here. When we say, do women have too high of standards? If 6 feet is just like a starting point for a lot of women, like a lot of women will put maybe 5'10", 5'11", or higher on their online dating apps if they have that search function. Take that number. So 14% of men in the United States are 6 feet or taller. Now, how many would be left? Because how many are already married of those 14%? How many of those guys are already married? Okay, and take whatever percentage it is. I don't know necessarily, but we can just keep this in mind. It's obviously going to be less than now the 14%. Okay, how many of those now are currently in a relationship? So think about women on online dating apps that are looking for a single guy. Well, how many now of these 14% are not already married and they're not already currently in a relationship? Percentage is going to keep going down. Now, let's take that number, right? And this isn't crazy. I'm not saying a guy that's 6'5" or whatever. This is just 6 feet, which again is what a lot of women will talk about. Now, out of these, right, how many of that 14% are not married, they're not currently in a relationship, and they're not currently in jail or prison? Think about that. How many of these guys are actually, some of these you might say, some of the alpha males or the Chad and Tyrones, how many of these guys are now also in jail or prison? Like, how many are left out there? All right, now, I don't have a percentage for this. But again, if we're saying, okay, there's 14% of guys that are in this, in the whole United States that are over 20. Out of that, how many left that are not married? how many left are not currently in a relationship, and how many left of those they're not in jail or prison. Oh, Red Pill Phil, thank you. Holy cow. I didn't even think about this. This would drop another handful of men these days, right? And not gay. I didn't even think about that. Wow. Okay, so the percentage is going down and down and down, right? We could assume. Now, take that percentage that we now have that's going to be pretty dang small, a lot smaller than 14% now. And again, remember, that's going to be the starting requirement for a lot of women, just 6 feet or taller. Okay, how many of these guys are still left? Now, do they have a 6-figure income? So how many of these guys in this tiny percentage also have a 6-figure income? Okay, remember, they're single, they're not in prison, all that. They also have a 6-figure income. Now, how many of those guys also have a 600 horsepower car? Now, again, these aren't like you need to have them as much as like the 6 feet one. A lot of women do like really live by that one. But like the 600 horsepower car, right? There's going to be guys maybe that are in that echelon of they have the money, they have the potential for it, but they're not willing to spend it on a 600 horsepower car. Maybe they're careful with their money, or they're saving it for other things. So again, more percentages are dropping. How many of these guys also have a 6-pack abs? All right, of these guys in this small percentage, and again, if they have a 6-figure income, 600 horsepower car, again, you're going to have to devote more time to work to increase your income and all that. So there's going to be a percentage of those guys that are just, they went the work route and they didn't go the keeping their body in shape route. Again, you're going to drop off more guys, 6-pack abs. 6 months from last relationship, I'm going to cancel that out. I don't think that matters if a guy had these other things. And then 6 feet tall, then down here, 6 inches in the pants. I don't know if that correlates. I would guess the taller the guy are, it would probably correlate somewhat. Like bigger guys have bigger hands and bigger feet typically. Like I would guess it probably correlates, but there are going to be some that don't measure up there as well that meet these other standards. Now, again, I've done videos before where we started with the 6 without breaking down all the percentages of starting with 14% and going from there. And it's still like there's so many more requirements a lot of these women have. But when you break it down like that, okay, now what are you left with? And then when you think about that, if I were talking to women right now, like if I was talking to a woman that actually was like, wait a second, and she was actually curious, like what's happening, what's going on? It would be like, okay, think about now the percentage of that type of man that you're going to find. Now go, all right, that guy that he's not in a relationship, he's not married, he's doesn't have this or that, he doesn't have probably kids. That's going to be another one a lot of these women are going to want. Like they're not going to want a guy that already has kids. That would be another percentage itself. But now take that guy that has not done all those other stuff. Now, is that guy red-pilled? Because if he is, good luck getting a guy like that to commit to you because he understands this. He's aware of this. So you're going to have to now find the percentage of those guys that are blue-pilled enough that they're still willing to get married in this day and age. So when women are looking at this and they're going, well, yeah, that's what I want and I should have my standards and there's nothing wrong with having my values. And if he's not a Scorpio, screw him. It's like, fine, do it. But this is why so many guys are just like laughing like, yeah, I'm out. Why? It's so unreasonable now, and they don't understand, they don't get it. Then you have that guy up there that, let's just say he's blue-pilled enough that he's still going to get married. Now, what are you, as a woman, bringing to the table that will get that top of the top 3%, 5%, whatever man you're looking for at that point? What is it going to be that differentiates you from all the other women that are fighting after that same guy? Because all women are at that point. And that's where it's like, you look at that Angie girl that we just went over, no way that she would ever lock down the top of the top guy. Not a chance. The other girl, Lauren, not a chance. The one that we looked at. The first girl, I still don't think there's a chance. She wants to wait till she's 33 to have children. So again, when this is a scenario, when you logically look at it, we're like, holy cow. it's again like looking into the crystal ball. It's like, oh, we already know what's going to happen. We see what's going to happen. We already know this is going to be destruction for a lot of women. And again, we could say the same thing for the side of men that are blue pilled. Going to be destruction for a lot of these guys because they're going to be preyed on by these vulture women that have been around the block so many different times. They know all of the games, and they're going to be cleaning up the scraps at some point. Crap, I better get this guy to commit to me. I'm 32, 33. And they have all the tricks in the book at that point. Like that Angie girl we just saw, that girl probably has triple-digit body count, my guess.
She's the village bicycle. Everyone's had a ride.
You're using a Virtucon product.
Maybe not quite that high, but probably around there, or she'll get there. So that's when it's like, crap, man. All these women are going to have a really hard time, but same with those blue-pilled men. That's why you got to learn this stuff or you're in trouble. You are in trouble. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.